watching Seahawks Today. We are presented by Manscaped. You can get 20% off plus free shipping. We'll tell you more about Manscaped's fantastic products coming up later on in today's show. On this edition of Seahawks Today, we are looking at potential replacement options for Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs at the safety position. Seahawks released both of their starting safeties on Tuesday, and now what could they potentially do at that safety position going forward? We have some names that are available in free agency that we'll focus on here on today's show. Got a full list we'll get to in just a bit. Before we do, we're getting so close to 50.5 thousand subscribers on the channel. We're just over 20 away from reaching that next milestone. If you love the Seattle Seahawks, if you want daily news and rumors, want to be a part of our live shows, our free agency coverage, trade rumors, all of that, this is the place to be. Help us reach that next milestone. Subscribe now for the latest happenings on your favorite team all offseason long right here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Let's begin with a familiar name to Seahawk fans, Ryan Neal, who spent this past season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is available in free agency. And I got to say, letting go of Ryan Neal last year was a mistake. He was not going to cost you a whole lot, but once the Seahawks ended up signing Julian Love, they moved on from Ryan Neal, let him go off to Tampa Bay, and I thought there was a world where Ryan Neal still could have coexisted with Julian Love and been a part of this Seahawks team. I know that bringing him back now wouldn't put him in the same system he was in before, as the Seahawks are going a new direction defensively with Mike Macdonald here. But hear me out on this. Ryan Neal, there's some great value here. He was the highest-rated safety in the entire NFL in 2022. He's played in 58 games with 32 starts since 2020. The numbers on him the past 4 years, you can see that he excelled in this Seahawks defense. 2020 had 2 picks, 5 pass breakups. Last year had 8 pass breakups and 1 interception in 66 tackles. Ryan Neal's a good football player, and you get him back to Seattle, somewhere that he's comfortable, somewhere that he knows. I think he could be a good fit and not cost you a ton back with the Seattle Seahawks team. Another name that Seahawks fans should be familiar with is Geno Stone from the Baltimore Ravens. Geno Stone played under Mike Macdonald in Baltimore and had a fantastic season this past year. 7 interceptions. That was the second most of any player in the National Football League. Stone's a really good player, a turnover machine. He's thrived in this system. You know, if you bring him in, there's going to be other guys that have to learn how this defense operates, right? Geno Stone would be ready to go from day one, from the jump, with this Seahawks defense. And he was kind of limited in the role that he had in Baltimore, as he wasn't a starter in that Baltimore defense. You give him a starting role in Seattle here, I think Geno Stone still has another step forward he can make of being that guy and being a difference maker. And kind of like Ryan Neal, I don't think he's going to cost a ton of money either, quite frankly. The numbers last year for him, coverage-wise, he allowed just 188 yards, QB rating of 50.8, solid numbers there. Geno Stone could be a very good fit for what Seattle wants to do. Between these two, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have Ryan Neal or Geno Stone? They're both going to be relatively cheap. Which one would you like to sign? Type R for Ryan Neal, type G for Geno Stone. Weigh in the comment section and let us know what you think. Next on the list, this one's going to be a little more pricey. This is where we find Xavier McKinney from the New York Football Giants. I am surprised that the Giants don't have a new deal in place to keep Xavier McKinney around, because this is somebody that is a disruptor. And he's got positional flexibility. He can do multiple things well. He wouldn't be cheap, but he is a difference maker. And you look at what he can do. I mean, this is somebody with experience at free safety. He can also play the slot. He can be in the box. And last year, you talk about numbers. raw statistics for you. Did not allow a single touchdown and ranked third among safeties in coverage. Just a 52.1 passer rating allowed. Xavier McKinney was all that in a bag of chips. And last year, you look at his statistics, 116 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 11 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions. Xavier McKinney's just really starting to come into his own. And more of those coverage statistics we mentioned, not giving up a touchdown, 11 pass breakups as well, 288 yards allowed, quarterback rating of 53. Xavier McKinney's a fine football player. I like Xavier McKinney. I think he could be a good fit. More names to get to in a moment. But first, I want to tell you about today's sponsor. We're presented by Manscaped. Top of the morning to you. This episode is brought to you by the St. Patrick's Day Shamrock Shavers. Manscaped, this year, don't just chase rainbows. Make your own pot of gold and groom your little leprechaun with the leaders in below-the-kit care. Say goodbye to your clover forest with Manscaped's Lawnmower 5.0. And let your confidence shine bright. Embrace the luck of the Irish and join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Head to manscaped.com and use code Seahawks for 20% off plus free shipping. Meet your new lucky charm for St. Patrick's Day, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This trimmer comes with 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads, one for a classic trim and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. Trimming the hedges in your Irish garden isn't just for below the belt. Complete your look with Manscaped's signature Beard Hedger Pro Kit plus Handyman Electric Face Shaver. Now, I keep my face pretty clean myself, but you better believe if I had a beard I was trying to shave, I'd be using Manscaped too for that. Whether you're sculpting your beard or cleaning up your neckline, these are always the right tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping with code Seahawks at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with code Seahawks at manscaped.com. This St. Patrick's Day, make sure your little hairy leprechaun is luckier than ever with Manscaped. Check out Manscaped today. Tell them Tyler Jones sent you. Your face and your balls will thank you later. All right, next on the list is Cameron Curl from the Washington Commanders. And here's somebody that is an excellent tackler in run support. And it's no secret that the Seattle Seahawks need all the help they can get when it comes to finding help in that department, in the run support. Cameron Curl would make a ton of sense. And he could play multiple positions. This is somebody that has succeeded at both playing safety and corner. The one problem, although he's good when it comes to run defense, his coverage hasn't been that great. He hasn't registered an interception in 3 seasons, folks. It has been a while since he last did that. His numbers this past year included 5 pass breakups, 115 tackles, and 3 tackles for loss. But when he's on, he was on. You go back to 2020, he had 3 interceptions, 88 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 4 pass breakups. His coverage numbers this past season, a 69 nice completion percentage, allowed 3 touchdowns and 5 pass breakups. QB rating kind of high, 110.2 there. More names to get to on our list. Let's find Julian Blackman of the Indianapolis Colts. Julian Blackman, one of the best young free safeties that the game of American tackle football has to offer. And I know that there was the injury that he suffered, but he should be healthy by the time free agency rolls around next week, where his prior injuries shouldn't be a concern. 29 games played with 26 starts in the last 2 seasons, coming off a career high of 88 tackles, had a team high of 8 passes defended, also had 4 interceptions last year as well. Julian Blackman is a guy that is really just starting to take off and come into his own after the season that he had last year. You got to think that he would be a natural fit for what the Seattle Seahawks are trying to do there. Coverage stats on him, quarterback rating, did a really good job of holding that down to 55.8, along with 8 pass breakups and the 4 picks. Julian Blackman, solid football player. Now, the best of the rest we will get to in just a moment, but first, who is the safety that Seattle should sign? We've gone over several names. We still have a few more to go. But who would you like to see? Weigh in the comment section. Let us know what you think is a safety that the Seahawks should bring in. All right, we're going to go rapid fire on these final three here. These ones are less likely to happen, but nonetheless, they made the list. Jordan Whitehead of the New York Jets wasn't at his best in 2023, but he does have an ability to create turnovers. I think of him like a great value brand, Kirkland brand type product out there. He's not going to cost you a lot, but he could be a decent value buy of some sorts on the market there. Staying with the New York Jets, we find Ashton Davis also making the list as well. And Ashton Davis coming off a solid season. You don't have to break the bank for him. And another thing, too, he's only 27 years old. So you would think, in theory, he's still got a lot of good football left in him at this point in time as well. And then last on the list, this one, Jordan Poyer. One of the biggest names on this entire list. But the reason why we bring him up last is there is going to be a very competitive market for Jordan Poyer. And I would think that with the other things the Seahawks have to take care of and spend money on, I can't imagine them going top dollar for Jordan Poyer of what he's going to demand on the open market compared to other players. He's a heck of a football player. He would be a great addition, but I would be willing to guess he's likely out of the Seahawks' price range at this point in time. Now, when it comes to the safety spot, what would you rather do? We've gone through the free agents. Would you rather sign a guy or would you rather draft somebody to replace the likes of Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams? If you'd rather draft, type D for draft. If you'd rather sign, type S for sign. Weigh in the comment section. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today.